All right, Shalom. I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. I'm back with another quick lesson through the Holy Spirit of the Rakakwadash. And I want to get into these few articles that I have here a little bit later in this lesson. As you see here, this one is from theguardian.com. It says lab-grown sperm and eggs just a few years away, scientists say. It says quest to create viable human sex cells in lab progressing rapidly with huge implications for reproduction. All right. And the other one here, this is from the telegraph.co.uk. It says babies could be born without biological mothers. It says U.S. research raises possibility of IVF embryos with two genetic fathers and no DNA from a woman. All right. So, the overall point that we're going to make in this lesson is that these Edomites are trying to play the role of the Most High. Okay. Now, I wanted to open up with this here. Okay. Because I want to make the point about this idea or this philosophy of transhumanism is in direct opposition with the Most High's natural order. All right. This is why these Edomites are going to be stopped. Right. But it says here, this is from the newstarget.com. It came out March 25th, 2025. It says transhumanism, a grimoire, if I'm pronouncing that right, a grimoire of alchemical agendas unravels the hidden threads linking science, alchemy, and human transformation. Okay, this is the core, mindset or belief of what this concept or this philosophy of transhumanism is. Okay, another attempt, of these Edomites, playing the role of the Most High. All right, which we're going to get into that point here. All right, but again, these Edomites must be stopped. Right, and I want to play this video at the bottom here, but just reading this here, this first point, it says transhumanism, a grimoire of alchemical agendas by Dr. Joseph Farrell and Dr. Scott D. Hart explores the deep connections between ancient alchemical traditions and modern scientific endeavors, particularly in genetics and transhumanism, suggesting that contemporary technologies are extensions of ancient practices aimed at transhuming human limitations. All right, so this is the same, mindset as the, going back to the Tower of Babel. All right. Now, I had that pulled up here in the chat GBT. I had put in alchemy, sorcery, in ancient Chaldeans and transhumanism today. All right. And this is what we got. All right. And we'll come back and forth, to this link here from the chat GBT. But before we play the video, it says alchemy and sorcery in the ancient world. Alchemy in its earliest form wasn't just about turning lead into gold. It was about transforming the human soul and body into a godlike state. All right, the same philosophy of the Tower of Babel. Okay, it says the Chaldeans, ancient Babylonians, were known for their mastery of astrology, mapping stars to divine powers, mystery religions, ritual magic to commune with gods or spirits. Same thing is going on today. It says sacred sciences, early chemistry plus mysticism equal proto-alchemy. Sorcery was condemned in scriptures, Deuteronomy 18:10-12, Isaiah 47:9, Revelation 18:23. It involved occult knowledge, hidden/forbidden, manipulating nature and human beings to transcend normal limits. In other words, Chaldean quote-unquote wisdom was not neutral. It was a spiritual system opposing the Most High. All right, and we're going to come back to this. I want to play this video, right, before we get to the main points, the articles that I have pointed out earlier, right? Let's play this video here. Because this is about that book that was the title.
Transhumanism, a grimoire of alchemical agendas. by Dr. Joseph Farrell and Dr. Scott DeHart, explores the hidden connections between science, philosophy, and the ancient wisdom that continues to shape our lives. It challenges us to rethink the very foundations of our understanding of science, religion, and the human condition. Let's begin by unraveling the alchemical threads woven into the fabric of modern science. As we explore the works of Renaissance thinkers like Marsilio Ficino, we find a profound connection between love and magic. Ficino, in his commentary on Plato's Symposium, asks, "Why is love called a magus?" His answer is simple yet profound. Because all the force of magic consists in love. This idea suggests that the fundamental force driving the universe is a kind of cosmic attraction, a drawing of one thing to another by natural similitude. This concept of a universal love, a unifying force that binds the universe together, is echoed in the writings of Mark Booth, who reminds us that the known is a tiny island floating on a vast and very strange sea. Booth encourages us to embrace doubt and resist the urge to impose patterns on the world too quickly. Instead, we should allow deeper patterns to emerge, recognizing that science, like any other myth, represents what we deeply want to believe. As we delve into the book's core themes, we encounter the unsettling idea that modern science is, in many ways, a continuation of ancient alchemical practices. The authors propose that the goals of modern science, particularly in fields like genetics and transhumanism, are eerily similar to the alchemical quest for transformation and transcendence. Consider the concept of the alchemo-vegetable man, a term that encapsulates the fusion of human and plant characteristics. This idea is not as far-fetched as it might seem. The authors point out that ancient societies, like the Mayans, attempted to achieve this fusion through rituals involving the sacrifice of human blood to fertilize their crops. Today, we see echoes of this ancient practice in the genetic engineering of crops, where human genes are spliced into plants, and vice versa. The authors argue that this is not merely a coincidence, but part of a larger alchemical agenda. They suggest that the ultimate goal is the transformation of mankind itself, a process they refer to as the alchemical reascent, back up the Tower of Babel. This ascent is not just a return to a state of primordial unity, but a transformation into a new kind of being.
Yeah, so like you made mention of the Tower of Babel, all right, it's the same it's the same spirit, all right? I just want to make a point on that. Okay, because this is all it is, right? It's just mankind. Well, I wouldn't say mankind, but it's Esau, all right. The Edomites, all right. They're seeking to ascend to the Most High's level through their sorcery and technology, all right. That left hand. But I just want to make a quick point. This is Genesis 11, and we'll just start at 1. Genesis 11:1, it says, "And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, Go to and let us make brick, and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar." Verse 4, the point. It says, "And they said, Go to, let us build us a city in a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven. And let us make a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the earth." You see? It says, "And the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, came down to see the city in the tower, which the children of men had builded." Verse 6, it says, "And the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, said, Behold, the people is one, and they all have one language. And this they begin to do. Now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do." And this is the same thing now. Okay, see, all of this, this transhumanism stuff, artificial intelligence, this growing DNA cells in a laboratory. Okay, this is all the Edomites attempting to play the role of the Most High. Okay, this is this is blasphemy. This is tampering. Again, this is tampering with the Most High's order, natural order. Okay, like I said, now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. This is why this man is trying to create artificial babies, and as we're going to get into a little later, right? The lab-grown sperm and eggs just a few years away. You don't need to have a woman to, to have a child. Two men can have babies. All of this madness that we see in these last days. All right, but again, as it told us in Daniel, the 12th chapter, right? Daniel 12:4, but thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. So the fact that we see this this peak in so-called technology, all right, this is all tied to the end, okay, to the end of Esau's world, right? Let's go back. So Esau's out of his mind, but a lot of these practices go back to the ancient, the ancient Chaldeans, the sorcerers, the witches, the warlocks, man. All right. Yeah, we'll come back to this. Let's go back to the video and finish it out.
One that transcends the limitations of our current human form. Central to this alchemical vision is the concept of androgyny, the idea of a primordial unity that encompasses both male and female principles. The authors explore the symbolic significance of androgyny in various religious and mythological traditions, from the Hindu concept of the primordial trinity to the Mayan Popol Vuh's account of the creation of mankind. In the Popol Vuh, we find a narrative that describes mankind's original state as a kind of masculine androgynous unity, a state of perfect knowledge and power. This unity, however, posed a threat to the gods, leading to the fragmentation of mankind and the loss of this original knowledge. The authors argue that this story reflects a deep-seated fear of the power of human consciousness and the potential for mankind to transcend its current limitations. Farrell and DeHart then turn their attention to the transhumanist movement, which seeks to use technology to enhance human capabilities and ultimately achieve a state of singularity, a point at which human and machine intelligence merge. This vision, they argue, is a modern manifestation of the alchemical quest for the philosopher's stone, a symbol of ultimate knowledge and power. The authors highlight the work of transhumanist thinkers like Ray Kurzweil, who envision a future where humans can upload their consciousness into computers, achieving a form of virtual immortality. They suggest that this vision is not just a technological fantasy, but a continuation of the ancient alchemical dream of transcending the limitations of the human body and achieving a state of divine perfection. However, the authors also warn that this alchemical transformation is not just a personal or technological endeavor, but a social one. According to Farrell and DeHart, the three great Yahwisms, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, have, in their own ways, co-opted the alchemical metaphor, using it as a tool for social engineering. These religions, they continue, have inverted the ancient metaphor, using it to create a new kind of social order based on the idea of a chosen people and a special revelation. This inversion has led to a fragmentation of human society, a Tower of Babel moment that has divided humanity into competing factions, each claiming to possess the ultimate truth. The authors suggest that this social engineering is a form of alchemy in its own right, a manipulation of human consciousness and society that seeks to control the future of mankind. In the final sections of the book, Farrell and DeHart explore the implications of this alchemical agenda for the future of humanity. They suggest that the ultimate goal of this agenda is the transformation of the entire cosmos into a reflection of human consciousness, a process referred to as the alchemical apocalypse. This vision, the authors note, is both a promise and a threat. On one hand, it offers the possibility of a new kind of existence, one that transcends the limitations of our current reality. On the other hand, it raises profound ethical and moral questions about the nature of humanity and the potential consequences of such a transformation. In the end, the alchemical agenda is not just a story about the past, but a call to action. A reminder that we are all participants in the great cosmic drama of creation and transformation.
Yeah, so, this whole transhumanism shit is likened to a religion, man. All right, and it all goes back to the ancient Chaldeans or whatnot. All right, those warlocks, the sorcerers, man. This is what it is today, right? That's why scriptures say that these Edomites are a people of falsehood, man. Right? Psalm 144 in verse yep. This is Psalm 144 and 7. Send thy hand from above. Rid me and deliver me out of great waters, from the hand of strange children. All right, you Edomites. Okay, and the Lord is getting ready to destroy you, man. Because as we're talking about here, everything that this false religion of transhuman, what it stands for, is all in opposition of the natural order of the Lord, man. Esau put himself in that position to be the Most High. Altering, what did it say? Altering and linking science and alchemy and human transformation. Let's go back. It says Psalm 144 and 8, whose mouth speaketh vanity. All right, everything that we heard from that book in the video, man, it's all vanity. It's all lies. Okay, this is high level sorcery, witchcraft, man. Okay, it says whose mouth speaketh vanity. Psalm 144 and 8, whose mouth speaketh vanity, and their right hand is a right hand of falsehood, lies. Your right hand represents power, but his power is what? Falsehood, lies, deception. Okay, this is what this is. Right? Lie, deception, disappointment, falsehood. Okay, fraudulently, wrongfully, falsehood, injurious in testimony, testify falsehood. Okay, because this is all that pseudo left hand madness that's being pushed now. Okay, so all Esau is doing is literally bringing destruction to him. Okay, because this is not going to prevail. All right, back into the chat GPT, and we'll go back to those articles that I had in the beginning. But these are the things that I was thinking about, as I came across those articles. All right, biblical perspective on the Chaldeans. It says Isaiah 47 and 12 and 13, the Most High mocks Babylon, Babylon's sorceries and astrologers. Right? Let's go there real quick. All right. Okay. Because this place is on the brink of destruction. No doubt about it. All right. These Edomites have to be stopped. Okay. Isaiah 47 and this is Isaiah 47 and 9. It says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries. Right? This is what that book was about. Okay, and pretty much your modern day science goes back to this ancient form of alchemy. Okay, this transhumanism madness, it all goes back to that. All right, the ancient warlocks, Chaldeans, the ancient, see that part again. It says, I just want to read that part again, Salakia, but it says, it explores the deep connections between ancient alchemical traditions and modern scientific endeavors, particularly in genetics and transhumanism, suggesting that contemporary technologies are extensions of ancient practices aimed at transcending human limitations. See? So it all goes back to that. You know? Back in Isaiah 47:9, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment and one day. The loss of children and widowhood, they should come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thy enchantments. See? Destruction, man. Okay? For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, and thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. And that's what he's been touting himself in the earth to be, the Most High. You know, they're on the record saying that nobody can stop them. Okay, they have the technology now to achieve their vision of this technocracy, of this transhumanism. You know, merging man with machine, uploading your consciousness to a computer, man. Okay, creating GMO humans, all of that stuff that's been in the news as of lately, man. Okay, he really thinks that he's the Most High. It says, verse 11, therefore shall evil come upon thee, and thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. And mischief shall fall upon thee, and thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. We're in that time where this place is about to be suddenly taken out. Okay? The Lord is about to reward Babylon. Okay? It says, stand now with thy enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou should be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. So the Lord is making mockery. Okay? Because none of your enchantments, none of your ancient, practices and technology, all of the sorcery is not going to save him from the judgment. It says, there are wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Right? So it's not going to happen. Right? And these devils are trying to do everything they can to maintain their hegemony, their power, but they can't stop it. No matter what they do. Right? They're not going to be able to deliver themselves from the wrath to come. Right? It says, back in the chat GPT here, Daniel 2:2, the Chaldeans are listed alongside magicians, astrologers, and sorcerers in Nebuchadnezzar's court. Revelation 18:23, by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. Greek pharmakia, drugs, enchantments, manipulative technologies. All right, let's go down. Transhumanism today equal modern alchemy. Modern transhumanism is AI gene editing, mind uploading, lab-grown gametes, cybernetic implants, mirrors ancient goals. Alchemy's goal, create the philosopher's stone to achieve immortality. All right, because they're trying to achieve, immortality through left-handed means. Okay, transhumanism's goal, use science and technology to achieve immortality, quote, digital heaven, gene editing to stop aging, merging man with machine, all these things that are being talked about now. Okay? It says sorcery's goal, gain secret knowledge to ascend to godhood. See? Today's goal, we will be like gods. This is what they've been saying. Even the language of Silicon Valley transhumanist echoes alchemy. Quote, upgrade humanity, hacking evolution, editing the human code, right? And they're saying that humans can be hackable. That's another thing that they've been saying too. All right? It says this is a continuation of the Chaldean mindset. See? Using hidden knowledge to transform mankind into something post-human. Okay? Which is total blasphemy. Right? You see, this is the goal right here. Right? This is from the National Geographic. I remember this came out some years ago. back in 2017, right? Step one was the gender revolution, all right? Back when Biden was in office and you had all that madness going on with the alphabetical community, all right? This is all part of that. Step two, right? The next human, taking evolution into our own hands. You see that? This all goes back to that, right? It says how it's spiritually connected. It says forbidden knowledge, just like the watchers of the book of Enoch gave mankind, right? It says modern technologies are unlocking forbidden zones of DNA, AI consciousness, and neurolinking. It says sorceries of Babylon, Revelation 18 are not just magic spells, but systems of control, pharmakia, genetic manipulation, and deceptive miracles, right? Those lying wonders, right? Goal of the beast system, a unified world, religion, empire, blending technology, false spirituality, and commerce, the same spirit as Babel. See? Right? Now let's go to the point here. You know? So back to the articles here. Again, from theguardian.com, lab-grown sperm and eggs just a few years away, scientists say. It says scientists are just a few years from creating viable human sex cells in the lab, according to an internationally renowned pioneer of the field who says the advance could open up biology, I'm beating that word up, open up biology, define possibilities for reproduction. See? It says, speaking to the Guardian, Professor Katsuko Hayashi, a developmental geneticist at the University of Osaka, said rapid progress is being made towards being able to transform adult skin or blood cells into eggs and sperm, a feat of genetic conjury known as in vitro gametogenesis, right? It says his own lab is about 7 years away from the milestone he predicts. Other frontrunners include a team at the University of Kyoto and a California-based startup, Conception Biosciences, whose Silicon Valley backers include the OpenAI founder Sam Altman, whose CEO told The Guardian that growing eggs in the lab might be the best tool we have to reverse population decline and could pave the way for human gene editing. All right, and I did lessons going into this before. All right, so hey, we're in a time. This is that flood-like behavior all over again, man. Right?
Two men could now make a baby without a woman's DNA. American scientists have created working human embryos by putting DNA from skin into a donor egg. This new egg has just 23 chromosomes from the skin cell, and that can be fertilized via IVF with the 23 chromosomes from a sperm, making a full set. The implications for the study are vast. It opens the door for anyone to have children, irrespective of the need to have your own eggs. Therefore, this new scientific method could also provide an unlimited supply of eggs for women who struggle to conceive because of age, infertility, or medical treatment. Scientists have been able to change DNA in cells since the 1990s, but their methods did not work for reproductive cells. A study from Oregon University has now managed this for the first time by tricking a skin cell into behaving like an egg cell. The process was replicated to make 82 embryos, but only 9% developed to the stage needed for IVF implantation. None were implanted into a human and were all destroyed in line with ethical guidelines. Two men could now make a baby without a woman's DNA.
Yeah, so again, these are the ancient practices that are being done today. All right? And you see, and this is blasphemy, man. All right? Because the Most High is the author of life. All right? Not man. Okay? This is Genesis. Just want to make that point. Genesis 1:27. And it reads, it says, so the Most High created man in his own image. In the image of the Most High created he him. Male and female he created he them. Verse 28. And the Most High blessed them and said unto them, and the Most High said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. Right? So again, okay, by these Edomites trying to, alter, on how the Most High basically, he created a natural union between man and woman. All right. So any attempt to try to alter that and change that, that's rebellion, man, against the Most High. All right. Again, as I said earlier, this is this devil trying to tamper with the Most High natural order. All right. Romans 1 and this is Romans 1 and 22. It says, I started 21. Romans 1 and 21. It says, because that when they knew the Most High, they glorified him not, neither were they thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. See that? This is why we see this madness today. Okay, these ancient practices, this transhumanism, the so-called modern science is all left-hand witchcraft, sorcery. It says, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. See? And changed the glory of the uncorruptible power into an image made like to corruptible man, and to birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. It says, verse 24, it says, matter of fact, let me jump down. It says, verse 25, who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie, and worship and serve the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. So again, you have this man science that's trying to exalt, human wisdom over the Most High's natural order. You see, this is why this man is eventually is going to be taken down. Okay, because when they're talking about creating
American science.
Going back, when they're talking about creating babies without a woman or with two men's DNA, all right, this is direct opposition to the Most High's order of creation, man. You see, but again, it all goes back to what we're reading here. Okay, all these practices, ancient practices, this is all aimed at transcending human limitations, man. All this technology, this alchemy stuff, transhumanism. This is all ancient alchemy practices going back to the ancient Chaldeans. Okay, so again, we're very close to this man being destroyed, this society being taken up in flames, man. Right? Summary table: ancient Chaldeans. Astrology, sorcery, as we just read, Isaiah 47, 12, 13. Today's transhumanists, AI plus data mining predictive systems, alchemy transforming man, gene editing, CRISPR, synthetic embryos, as we just read here, right? What they're doing now, right?
Scientists have created.
Okay. Forbidden knowledge from gods, AI, superintelligence, plus occult symbols and technology, Tower of Babel, reach heaven, space colonization, immortality projects. We will be like gods. We will transcend biology. See? So this place is on its way out, man. All right? But again, this is all, tampering with the Most High's order. And this devil's about to be destroyed, man. And let's make a couple more points. Ecclesiastes 7 and 29, right? Ecclesiastes 7 and 29, it says, lo, this only have I found, that the Most High have made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions, right? So here it is. The Most High made everything, right. But, you got this devil, creating artificial humans, artificial sperm, eggs. All right. This is all against the Most High's upright design. Okay. This is the devil tampering with the Lord's creation, with the Most High's order. All right. And these are the same things that happened in the past. So how much more now? Right? Genesis 6 and 5, it says, and the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth. How much more now? And that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. See? This is why, like the elder said, this is flood-like behavior all over again. And it repented the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that he made man on earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repented me that I have made them. Right? But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, all right? And the hopeful elect are in that same, stead of Noah, man. Lord willing, we found grace in this time of great destruction, man. All right? But again, hey, this man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right? So, hey, with that, shalom.